Beach, revisited.
Alright, so we are now almost a year ago. Our favorite record of 2010, Kids Like You and Me, Clam's album of the year last year, was Waves King of the Beach. And basically, yeah, so that was our favorite record of the year. It was released nearly a year ago. Technically, it was officially released August 2010, but basically the songs and everything leaked by June, basically. And so
It
this,
leaked
so
well ahead of its official release.
I wanted to do I thought this record was so important, or at least so important to us anyway, that I wanted to do, or we wanted to do, give basically a revisit it after a year has passed, see if it still holds up. And I didn't feel like waiting until August, so we decided June 9th, we'll post this video, because that is, I believe, the year anniversary of the release of the first single, Post Acid. And so I'm going to start by talking about that, and from there on, we'll go into all sorts of other areas that there's so much you can cover with this record. Basically, like, before hearing Post Acid, I was a Waves fan, but I didn't totally jump on the whole bandwagon, like, because Waves had been, really, really, like promoted by like Pitchfork, and he was all over YouTube and everything, and like all these other media outlets. Nathan Williams in particular was the whole Waves name was just everywhere, and kind of a little bit too soon. And
I'd say so.
yeah, it was a lot though.
He was doing. Yeah, I mean, he had some great early songs.
No. Actually,
the aesthetic of it was not unlike what a bunch of other pieces of shit were doing.
No, but it was pretty awesome though. I gotta say though, so the acclaim wasn't totally not like worth the merit or anything. It was I wasn't a huge fan at the time. Although I did really love some songs some of the songs I knew.
I saw him live in '09, and it was such a shitty performance.
Yeah, he was still.
I almost gave him up.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was pretty much said like that. I was not gonna be listening to this dude again.
But
until this album came around.
And so yeah, I really loved So Bored, No Hope Kids, some of the other songs from the first record too, like California Goth, and Waves, the song Waves. And so I was really into them, but I never thought it was significant enough to pursue it to listen to sit down and listen to those records. I never actually all the way through listened to those first two records. And I liked Waves though. I was a casual fan. And then I saw this Post Acid video. And like everyone else, I think Waves, lo-fi is, fucking guy who records on his Mac and everything. And so I see this Post Acid video. And I hear it.
Analog is the way of the future.
And
screw digital. Which actually is ironic because this man just made a post the other day criticizing digital, and now he's giving praises and whatever that word is for praise. Accolades to this little dude who did nothing but record stuff on his computer. Pretty ironic, but anyway,
okay, well that's a separate thing though. That's a totally separate thing.
I just had to point that out, moving right along.
Okay. That's true, but no, I mean I didn't say that like totally.
Like, well, I didn't like his first recordings too much, but that Wave song, Waves.
I didn't say that.
One of my
favorites. Said that. First of all, that's not. I didn't. I said I did like it though. I said I wasn't a huge fan.
I was so bored. Not analog, but I really love it. No, I'm just kidding. You're not gonna try to claim to be.
I didn't say. Yeah, I didn't say I hated all digital songs, but I do think analog is better, far superior. But that's kind of besides the point, because that's usually when I was referring
to argument by me, but I have to say, pretty crummy argument.
Why? What the?
It doesn't have anything to do with King of the Beach.
Yeah, it doesn't. So let's get out of it. All right. So the point being, okay. So the song Post Acid, when I first heard it, kind of like. It didn't like blow my mind or anything like that, but I was so intrigued by it. No, I was so intrigued by it. So what I was trying to say is that you think like lo-fi noise waves that you just thought of totally as a wave, noise band. That's what I did, like everybody else, because that's how it was built up. But then Nathan comes along and says, no, I don't want to make the same record anymore. That's what he's basically saying to people. He's like, I don't want to make the same record.
Idea.
I had this chance to hop in the studio, and he now has a full band with Stephen Pope and Billy Hayes. No longer Billy Hayes, but at the time,
Jay Retard.
Jay Retard's backing band. Okay, yeah, which we're big Jay Retard fans.
We're not gonna repeat the press release.
We're big Jay fans, so but it was a big deal. Anyway, yeah, so you all know that. So now they're a full band. And
but no longer with Billy Hayes.
Okay, yeah. So I already said
TheKLYAM broke to the world.
Yeah, right.
Which he already said.
Okay, so I see the post-acid video, and you say like, it's like it just had this huge. It was like felt like this '90s song you hear on the radio, or it felt like even like a Blink-182 song.
It was kind of like what?
It was so poppy, and we were like, what the fuck? And I didn't think it was bad, and I didn't think it was good either. Or I thought it was something about it that stood out though. I didn't think it was great, but there's something about it that stood out. And that's like, honestly the mark. Not all the time, but that's often the mark of great art though. Where even if you don't think it's great upon initially, when it has that quality where it's so intriguing, it just stands out. Made you had to like stop for a minute and like. You're like, I thought about that the rest of the day. That never happened. That almost never happened to where like if I think something, yeah, it's all right. I don't. That's it. Yeah, it's all right. And that was kind of like I wasn't. That's where I was on it. Yeah, I was not like about
stopped.
Yeah, I could have just been like, no, it's all right. And but I didn't. I kept thinking about it, and so I kept listening to it, and then I became a huge fan of the song. It was just, and it's so catchy. It's so catchy. And but I'll get back to that later. Eventually, so I hear the entire album, and by hearing the whole album, that was something I was totally first listen. I was hooked into it. And I literally did say, I think this is going to be one of the best albums of the year. And from that point on, I listened to it like literally 5 times a day for the rest of the summer. And it really, like, not an exaggeration. To this day, I still listen to it. I still listen to it a few times a week. I listened to it earlier today. Like, literally in its entirety a few times a week.
I couldn't believe that this was the same Waves guy Waves. And that really stuck out to me. Just pretty much all those songs were just excellent.
I mean, to different degrees.
I don't know if it was just the title of
of course, it's the summer record, too. It's the perfect summer record. I'm listening to it a lot right now,
too. honestly, after the summer, I had played that thing so many times.
Yeah, it really
too many times that, it had to exit stage left for the fall. And
it never did for me. I've been listening to it all the way through.
I gotta admit, I never really went back. I haven't really gone back to it since.
So that's the thing. So here's the thing. Does it hold up during how many times you listen to it, how many what mood you're in?
I think
for me it does. Maybe for other people it's different. But okay, let's get to the actual
we're not going song by song here.
I want to go song by song. Maybe not every song. We won't do every song, but
this is the result of listening to that too many times. You start knowing the songs inside and out.
Yeah.
And then you can start discussing them for days upon days.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they just Waves though, just on this record, they just totally like. I mean, it's not even like one of those cases of a band going from like being
Waves singular or
no.
plural.
I'm not. Like, it's not like a band saying, oh, now we have more, we're more popular, we have more money, we can go into a studio and get a producer and, make a more commercial record. It is a more popular or accessible sound, it's more commercial, but it was more experimental, really, from a totally different angle. I mean, because Nathan had been, and the other guys had really been making much more raw sort of lo-fi music, really, so for them to kind of make this polished, not overly polished, but comparatively polished record was really an experimental thing. To be playing in a studio, especially $1 million studio, it was really an experimental move for the band. And I think all of them just set up and sit down and said, okay, we're gonna make this. We're gonna do the best we can. I think even I've seen interviews. Nathan said, I just want to make the best record I could possibly do, and he and Billy and Steven totally
which I think
did that.
most bands.
I think most bands say that, but obviously that's just not, true. And,
This was the best way.
Yeah, but we get totally like motivations aside. Let's get to the actual record. These songs, the songwriting is amazing. Like literally, like even if you didn't like this kind of music, these guys in particular, I think Nathan, but I mean the other two.
He was aided, but definitely.
He was. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, like he's without a doubt talented songwriter. Like if you want to say like he has that style down pat. Like literally, like the hooks are so strong though.
That's one
I mean
thing
the
about
sound. Also the production is probably the biggest thing too. But not even that. The songwriting. I mean it's like you want to talk about even the songwriting was good before. And I really, King of the Beach made me appreciate the songwriting on the first two records because it gets underappreciated because of like how crazy the production is and how noisy it is. But it was still it wasn't it was really good. But he had really he morphed into something new with the King of the Beach. He became a much better songwriter, even if the production had been, obviously the production does make a difference since it's clean air. It's sort of it's easier to get into and it works better for the songs. But like really the songwriting is like a lot better. And okay. So King of the Beach is a really solid opener. Awesome, just like surfy kind of song. Awesome, really like a lot of good punk.
I just
kind
call
of grooves,
I like
dude.
to just call it energy rock and roll.
Yeah, it's very high energy. It's very exciting, very fun, and just yeah. But it's just like I just love the like sort of the guitar is just very thick. There's a very thick sound on the record. Just like these slashing guitars in like King of the Beach, and it's really fast. And yeah, it's just like so much. There's so much of a lot of the pop punk that Waves is referencing in their music. It's just like a really high quality form of it. That's the way I look at it. Like I can't even like associate it with anything else that most people would typically associate it with. Like all these other bands that like although I think they're mainly like influenced by some of their like less commercial pop bands for the most, except for maybe Blink-182. But I think they're going much further back with people like Descendants, Queers.
They're in
stuff
a league
like
of
that.
their own.
But yeah, they totally. I mean, I think they're better than those bands too. But I mean, like I think that it's not as maybe as quite as popular as it appears.
Oh,
but
shit.
Anyway, and then the second song of the record is another just like fast paced, perfect. Just like this record just moves. It hits you. You know what I mean? Like it hits you like a just like a bucket of water. like a ton of bricks. It really does.
It does.
And Super Soaker is that song. It's just like, and once again, just the fucking top hooks, the
bass line, holy crap.
Like that, like right, it just hits you.
This album had a lot of those
the
moments.
guitar is so so like thick and just like it's so direct.
The hooks were like
and
a factory. They kept coming.
Yeah, and it just sonically is. You're just getting smashed with this, and Super Soaker is very very catchy. It was once Idiot, another song, just a great live show opener, just a really such a perfect apathetic like I don't give a fuck song on Idiot, and just the laughing, it's just so obnoxious. It's a perfect way to start the song. Like the song just starts with like this obnoxious giggling, and then awesome drum beat to kick things off, and the drums are very very thick, and
the whole thing is thick.
Yeah, the drums really stand out. They really pump. You get really pumped.
And everything is really turned up.
I also want to say with the song "Idiot," I second Anthony Fantano, the Needle Drop, in his review that saying "Idiots" reminds him of a Nirvana kind of song. And I'd agree with that too. I think it definitely does. There's maybe like I feel like there's an influence. I mean, in general, the Waves are definitely influenced by Nirvana, but like I think "Idiot" in particular really does sound like it has like a lot of the same sort of songwriting, a song Kurt Cobain would write. And I also lyrically, the whole album is really, like I said, apathetic, and I don't give a fuck and whatever.